This is Kumar Sangakkara talking about the Lahore terrorist attack against the Sri Lankan cricket team.
Lahore after that.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, that's the other defining event in some ways.
I think what we saw on the ground during the tsunami, and what we've seen then in society, in the war zones, all of these things, I think it allowed us to put Lahore into perspective.
What are your memories of that particular morning, March the 3rd, 2009?
It is a funny thing.
You were sat right next to Tilan Samarawira on the
Yes,
couch.
yes. So it was a tour organized by the then interim committee chairman Arjuna Ranatunga. For some reason, tour Pakistan at a time when all the countries were not going and security was an issue, and we had written to him on our concerns with security and of course exploring insurance for the players if something did happen, and which were also very, very politely refused, and then said that yes, we had done all the groundwork to ensure security. So we went, as usual, there's usual banter in the bus. People talk about what are you going to do this evening, what are we doing? One of our fast bowlers sitting in the front says, the wickets are so bloody flat, I'm going to get a stress fracture or something. I hope a bomb goes off so we can go home. And 20 seconds later, this happens. So, and it's just, I think, Lal Thamel, who was a monsieur at the time, was in the front. We only heard the gunshots. We thought it was firecrackers. He got up and said, "Get down, they shoot in the bus." And I think Dilshan was also in the front. I was more central. Mahil always sits right at the back. Murli sits right behind me, just so that he can annoy Tilan Samarawira from sitting behind him. And then I remember Taranga Parnavitana, the opener on his debut tour, I think, was seated in front. And all hell broke loose. Really, we hit the aisle of the bus, everyone on top of each other, really. And then the shooting started, and they just shot the bus as many times as they could, threw grenades and fired a rocket launch. All of this, and for some reason, I don't know why, we all survived. Tilan was injured. I got hit in the shoulder with a lot of shrapnel. Ajanta Mendes was injured. Taranga Parnavitana gets up, bleeding from his chest, and collapses, saying he's been shot. We hear oohs and ahs from all over the bus. Paul Fabres has an iron spike through his hand. So we get into the ground, which is only 500 meters from this Liberty roundabout. Then very rudimentary security, of course, and unfortunately most of the security personnel who were guarding us died, and that was tragic. The bus driver, they tried to shoot him, missed him, I think, about a couple of inches. And that
he was the hero of the hour.
Yes, because that's probably why we survived, that he was left alive to drive us through that. So and every day he takes about 4 attempts to get into this ground through this narrow gate, and this time he just one perfect take straight into the ground. And then we get off. Taranga Parnavitana, for some reason, we thought he had died, gets up and feels his back and says, "There's no hole in my back, so I think I'm okay," and walks off the pass. Tilan gets carried out, bleeding everywhere. He's been shot very badly. He gets taken by ambulance to hospital. Ajanta Mendes and I went due to get in the next ambulance to go. When they were shooting next to the ambulance, we thought, listen, we'll stay here. So then, of course, being Sri Lankan, 10 minutes into this, suddenly there's a little joke from one side, another from that end, a little bit of laughter, and suddenly it kind of, everyone starts breathing, talking, chatting. But at no time did we ever feel sorry for ourselves. We didn't get together in a huddle and say, "Oh my God, why us?" I think a lot of the talk was about just surprised that we've gone through 3 to 4 minutes of what other people go through every day. We have people who have laid down their lives for the country. We had people fighting on the side of the military. We had innocent people dying with various suicide attacks, this, that, and the other. People caught in the war zone. And we were all, actually, it was amazing to watch this team just talk about things like that, rather than saying, okay, oh my God, what is this? What about cricket? What are we going to do? Are we going to get through? There's no talk like that. I mean, with 8 hours to go before our planes came, Ajanta Mendes comes in fully bandaged up. Arms, head, everything bandaged with his pack of cards and his poker chips, and saying, listen, 8 hours, we've got to do something. Within a month, we were all back playing cricket, month and a half. Even Tilan came back after a month and a half from a horrific injury. scored 100, I think, on his back. I think all of these things allowed us to actually understand that, listen, why not us? What makes us so special that we can't be attacked or we can't go through something like this? And isn't it our responsibility that if you do, that you get on back with life as best you can?